Yes, I'm cold. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful night before Halloween. Well, it's the day of the night before Halloween. Uh, and in Sacramento, actually, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's chilly, but it's a beautiful, beautiful day. I walked to the coffee shop and got a tall. I went to Temple. Anyway, I thought it'd be spooky today. Uh, I have many, many friends. Well, actually, they're all dying off. But I've got a lot of friends from the old days in Nebraska. I spent the first 17 years of my, well, no, I spent from 7 years old to 17 years old in Nebraska. That's where I did most of my uh, schooling and things like that. I've got very, very dear friends that I made over the years, especially those that uh, were joined me, if you will. I'm going to take the phone off the hook here. Join me, if you will, in our recognition that the Vietnam War was madness and illegal and immoral and everything else, and we desperately saw our friends being drafted or naively enlisting, and most many of the boys my age that were that went did not come back. Be that as it may, I had a small circle of friends, and we were involved in the peace movement. And I wish I could. I would still be involved in the peace movement, I think, if I was a young person nowadays, because anyway. But anyway, several of them can only be described as Roman Catholic saints in the image of Saint Francis, and true, and they've grown to be to wonderful, socially aware, compassionate. Everything that's good about Christianity is incarnated in them, and nothing that is bad about Christianity is present in them, if you know what I mean. But even these very wise, understanding, empathetic, highly intelligent people just can't understand why I like Aleister Crowley and Philemon and everything else, because when you read him on the surface, he is incredibly scary and satanic and spooky and things like that. And I try as best I can without, because I'm not into converting anybody to anything, but I'm trying to explain, well, what you're thinking of when Crowley talks about Satan or Lucifer or any of his spooky stuff. What you're thinking that is not quite what Crowley is thinking of when he uses those terms. And it is sort of a paradox. And for people who are beginning their occult or mystical careers, it does form sort of a terror of the threshold at the beginning of your initiatory adventure. Crowley is his own built-in terror of the threshold. You know, if you sense there's something wonderful going on there, there probably is. But he makes it really hard for you. I'm going to read three short poems by Crowley today, sort of in the Halloween mood, and it sort of illustrates. Well, was Crowley a Satanist? Well, no and yes. And people say, "How can you? What do you mean, no or yes?" Crowley wrote a poem called "The Hymn to Satan," and I'm going to share it with you right now. I adore thee, King of evil. By the body thou hast fashioned in the likeness of a devil. By its purity impassioned, I adore thee, King of evil. I adore thee, Lord of malice. By the soul that thou hast molded, lovely as a lily chalice, to the somber sun unfolded. I adore thee, Lord of malice. By its thirst, the cruel craving for things infinite, unheard of, dreams devouring and depraving, songs no god may guess a word of, songs of crime and songs of craving. By the drear eyes of the devil, bleak and sterile as they glitter, I adore thee, King of evil. With these lips as dry and bitter as the drear eyes of the devil. I adore thee. I adore thee. I abase myself before thee. By the spells that once awoke the lust of chaos, I adore thee. I adore thee. I invoke thee. And here's his hymn to Lucifer. Where not of good nor ill, what am hath act. It's kind of a clumsy first sentence. Where not of good or ill, what aim hath act. Without its climax, death, what savor hath life? An impeccable machine, exact, he paces an inane and pointless path to glut brute appetites. His soul content, how tedious were he fit to comprehend himself. More, this our noble element of fire in nature, love in spirit, weakened life hath no spring, no axle, and no end. His body, a bloody ruby radiant with noble passions, sun-souled Lucifer, swept through the dawn colossal, swift aslant on Eden's imbecile perimeter. He blessed non-entity with every curse, and spiced with sorrow the dull soul of sense, breathed life into the sterile universe. With love and knowledge drove out innocence. The key of joy is disobedience. And finally, one that we would hear all the time whenever we would do the rite of earth. It was a final Rite of Eleusis that we did every year at the end of the Rite of Eleusis series. And there's a hymn to Hecate. And I know people say Hecate, and I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. But anyway, it's Crowley's hymn to Hecate. O triple form of darkness, somber splendor, thou moon unseen of men, thou huntress dread, thou crowned demon of the crownless dead, O breasts of blood, too bitter and too tender, unseen of gentle spring, let me the offering bring to thy shrine sepulchre glittering. I slay the swart beast. I bestow the bloom sown in the dusk and gathered in the gloom under the waning moon, at midnight hardly lightening the east. And the black lamb from the black ew's dead womb I bring, and stir the slow infernal tune fit for thy chosen priest, here where the band of ocean breaks the road black trodden, deeply stooping to the abyss. I shall salute thee with the nameless kiss pronounced toward the uttermost abode of thy supreme desire. I shall illume the fire whence thy wild Sturgis shall obey the lyre, whence thy lemurs shall gather and spring round, girdling me in the sad funereal sound. With my face turned back, my face averted, I shall consummate that awful act of worship. O renowned fear upon earth, and fear in hell, and black fear in the sky beyond fate. I hear the whining of thy wolves. I hear the howling of the hounds about thy form, who comest in the terror of thy storm, and night falls faster ere thine eyes appear, glittering through the mist. O face of woman unkissed, pronounced by the dead whose love is taken ere they wist. Thee I call, O dire one, O divine. I, the sole mortal, seek thy deadly shrine. Pour the dark stream of blood, a sleepy and reluctant river, even as thou drawest with thine eyes on mine, to me, across the sense-bewildering flood that holds my soul forever. Well, that's for Monday, I guess. Anyway, tomorrow is Halloween. And that's our Aleister Crowley spooky stuff. It might get spookier tomorrow. And until then, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.